And we are live. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90, where another pre-match has finished. 3-3 Leicester versus QPR away at the at Lotus Road. Can't remember now the name, but what did you think of the game? Obviously, again, there was so much happening in this game. That's a proper preseason friendly, and overall, even if you're a neutral, really, really good watch, in my opinion. If you want to get involved in this, let me know in the comments down below, or try and cover as much as possible. There's a few things I want to start on. First of all, my internet connection dropping out a little bit, and B, just some of the players today. I mean, incredible football at times from both teams, to be perfectly honest with you. Sometimes when we were playing some of the football, especially in the second half, where it seemed like things were dying down a little bit, it just came right back up. Again, I don't know why my internet is just bugging out a little bit, but we will continue. Anyway, so we'll get on. The first thing I want to do is have a look at the first half. I know there wasn't a lot that's happened on the first half, but we will get there. Anyway, I'll get to the comments first as well. Ram Santosh says, what a game. You're right, Ram Santosh. Phenomenal game. Ethan, hi Ethan, how you do? Hope you're doing okay, man. Patson Daka will be the next Ronaldo. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I mean, he was fantastic. The captain said KDH looks, Samori looks so good. We will get on to both them players later on. Ihaenacho and Daka is a future dream. Fantastic. And Jimmy Skill says Begovic looks good again. This could be used for the fourth money on a winger. We will get some of that, and especially tomorrow, if you're watching it now. Thank you for your comments. I'll try and get through them as much as we can, but there is a little bit more on the update tomorrow. However, some of the potential, I just want to start on that man. A lot of you have mentioned already. Daka, again, you guys keep mentioning Daka, and I totally agree. I mean, what a player. We knew he was going to be a great player at the moment. But again, to come in the way he did, and let's be real, he only played 30 minutes. But he had to feed off scraps for the majority of it. And we've seen before, he didn't quite sort his feet out in there. This match, okay, he was proving what he can do. The ball through for Albion when he took his goal was sensational. I loved just watching him play. And it gives me so much excitement going into this season that, yes, we bought a good player, and yes, we've been raving about him, but to see it in person, to see how he's performing, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. His running off the ball was fantastic. His strength, I think, does need to improve a little bit. However, there is a real player in there. Mark Albrighton putting a Kevin De Bruyne pass in for this. Again, I'm going to the second half first. We'll come on to the first half later on in the video, so don't you worry. We've got graphics and everything about that as well. Mark Albrighton putting that Kevin De Bruyne style cross in, cutting the players up completely. Patson Daka runs in, scores the goal, and it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic for the second goal. And it was Daka looks, again, just get some of your comments, but Daka looks such a good player. Was just impressed overall with how good he is. And again, it's important to remember that Leicester weren't really feeding him a lot of the time. So wasn't really getting in positions. Mark Albrighton, I think, is going to be, I know he just signed a new contract, and we will come on to that in another video probably tomorrow, doing like a weekly transfer update and all that kind of stuff. But Mark Albrighton, just well done once again. Again, people, he's a Leicester favourite, and people that don't support Leicester don't really appreciate how good of a player he is and what he does for the team. This match was, in the 45 minutes that he played, what a match, and what he did for that team was sensational. And we'll get on some of the players later on, but yeah, he looks like Vardy, but he's so similar, but in such a different way. I'm trying to figure out an exact analogy how to say it, but yeah, some of the passing he was doing, some of the movement he was doing, and the fact that all the players, and this is something that I've not seen from any other player, but they were all heads up. Luke Thomas was there. Harvey Barnes was there. Even so, to a certain extent, like Harvey Barnes, Mark Albrighton was there, all looking for him. Right, can we set him off? Can we? The penalty was a perfect example for the 3-3. Luke Thomas goes to give it into an area, and Daka goes, I can get it. And the keeper goes, no, you're not going to get it, and takes him out for the penalty. Fantastic work. Again, essentially, I don't think it's an assist, but just fantastic play. And bearing in mind, this is very early in the season. It's not even the season. He's going to be such a good player. And considering that Kelechi Iheanacho is still there, and again, when he took his penalty, I was like, oh, is it going to be another Burton? Okay, come on. But we believe in him. That's in the past. Put it on now. and just make sure we pay attention. Just fantastic to see what's happening, because we've got three great strikers. Jamie Vardy doesn't look like he's lost that much pace, but what Daka and Vardy gives you is that solidity, and also something that I didn't think Daka could do is his ability to just hold up the ball, go, give me the ball, I will chase after it. Go hit the ball, and I'll bring other people into play. His movement, his touch on the ball, which has been a little bit lacking in a couple of games, but you're seeing now preseason is coming through. We're getting into the theme of things, and Daka is adapting to Premier League football. So, well, Championship football in this case, but English football. Let me just be clear: it's still a championship. It's still a preseason game. We're not up to full speed yet. We've seen certain players that have come into the team now for their first game, but it was absolutely fantastic to see some of the people. I mean, Samore was a great example. Samore, what a player! And we've known this for a while, but just to see him live and how he's performing, I can't really say too much more. Marco Brighton was another. Anyway, we'll go through some of the team as we go. Again, apologies for the internet. I'm trying to do the best I can at the moment. Samore was really good. Anybody else? I'll just go to some of your comments as well, just to pick up where we left off. Thank you for your comments as well. I have to go. Patson Daka has been superb. Has the potential to be superb. He really does. I think he has the potential to be somebody incredible. Has Messi ever scored? Has Messi ever scored a goal, got an assist, and won a penalty against QPR? No, that's one way of doing it. Again, in a long time, we're going to compare him to there again. I don't know why it was fine for the rest of the day, and I don't know why it's messing up now. Barnes is back. Best news of the day. Yeah, Barnes. Again, it's going to take time for him to get into his stride, in my opinion. For the levels that he needs to get to, it will take time. And bearing in mind, he's coming from an injury, but he will get there. Harry Krishnan says, I'm scared about Vardy. I don't know exactly why. Didn't watch the first half, but we looked good after 60 minutes. I mean, for the first, it's probably the best part of the game, to be honest. Yeti boy, the 60 minutes, there wasn't really much. And you can still sell us a preseason game because we're 2-0 down. Brendan Rodgers not trying to go for the win. He's just changing all of the players to go, right, let's just continue to go as well. But yes, we'll get into some of the players and stuff later on. Daka is Vardy with a few inches of height. I think he's more than that, but also not just in terms of injuries, but again, with Marco Brighton swinging in the crosses now, we can then get Daka more forward and then get him in and then stick his head on it. And that's something that we've needed for a while. Hello, Ethan. Yes, it's been a while, mate. How are you doing? Daka's pace and movement, incredible. Exactly. We agree. Fantastic. Samore had a few nice balls in the box as well. Yes, I wanted to get onto him a little bit more as well. I'm trying to structure this on the fly. Normally I do it first of all. I think what we'll do is we'll go through the first half team because it wasn't that great. Yeti Boy puts, the ihaenacho penalty was important to us as the Ijoa one against West Ham. Yeah, I kind of agree. Also, remember that penalty that he did against Burton? It wasn't a penalty. He just skied over the bar. I was thinking, right, is this your opportunity, mate, to put things right? Show us what you can do and show us that you're not just a guy that skies it over the bar. And he puts it straight down the middle, loads of pace, loads of power to make it 3-3. And that's exactly what we need. And again, as Yeti Boy is saying, it reminds me of that. It's the opportunity to go, right, get us back in the game. Because if he misses it, the whole of the Leicester fan base, not whole of it, but a lot of the Leicester fan base tell him he's rubbish, blah, blah, blah. Even though he didn't do a lot in the game, his work rate was fantastic. His chances in front of goal wasn't that great. And I think part of that, we have to give credit, was down to QPR's defending. Phenomenal defending at times. We're just cutting out everything. And they're pressing. And I think James Alcott did a video on that. On his channel, so really recommend you checking it out. Fantastic. Clinch, what a game. So Akash, hope you're doing all right. Yeah, it was, what a game it was. Anyway, we'll start from the beginning. Thank you for all your brilliant comments as well. We really, really, really appreciate it. And we'll get into, again, the initial formations and things right now. So what we're going to do is look at the first half, because bearing in mind, this first half team, as soon as it was announced, again, shout out to Mad About Foxes. I'm going to I'll leave the logo up there, like I've got a choice. But I'll just cut out a little bit there. So what we've got here, obviously the formation 4-3-3. It's something that we've not really seen before, as in 4-3-3. So Jakupovic didn't have too much to do. Fofana and Sionchu, again, I mean, them two are just filling in to the point now where Fofana and Sionchu are just going to hold them positions until Johnny Evans gets fully fit. But they're building a relationship. Fofana looked really bright. Really, really bright, getting the ball, traveling out with it, but doing the defensive duties as well. And having these two alongside, but Ricardo and Bertrand. Again, Bertrand, Premier League, don't know how many matches he's played, but he played so many matches for Southampton and Chelsea. And Ricardo, we know the quality of Ricardo. And there was glimpses of him, the old Ricardo today. And I'm so, so, so glad because, oh my God, we've been wanting to see Ricardo. We know how good Ricardo is, and other Premier League teams know how good Ricardo is. This was a game where he was doing so many different things at the same time. What was he doing? Sorry, I'm just trying to ban some comments at the moment. Oh no, the ball on screen. No. Anyway, yes, as Aaron Jez, Ricardo is back. I don't think he's back just yet, but he's getting there, and that's the most important thing. Some of the balls he was doing, just to look at my notes a second. Defensively, solid. Holding that right back position, not letting anything go. Again, he fell over. I think he slipped over a couple of times. But there were certain things that he was doing. I was like, right, this dude is back to where the Ricardo that we know. Getting the ball, driving into the center of the pitch, which I was like, yes, I've missed him being able to do that. Then forward, go to that right-hand pocket and trying to create stuff, getting the ball and driving it forward. Potentially, if we don't sign a right winger, he could play in that position. Again, they sniffed that out. QPR did. They really, really did sniff that out and made sure that that they sniffed that out. Again, apologies if the internet is terrible. I don't know why this is happening right now. It was fine for the rest of the time. But yes, we'll get on to the left-hand side in Bertrand as well. So Bertrand had such a good game, in my opinion. Didn't do anything fancy like Ricardo, but what he did defensively was very good. Stayed in his position. Again, this guy's a class act. Out of the three signings, he's the one that will go under the radar with how he performed. Again, a couple of times he was bombing down that left-hand side and trying to put in crosses and give the tap in for the sweaty goal. And we'll take it. But what's brilliant about him is his decision making. He chooses when to do it, when to go all the way through, get the ball in and finish it off. Because I know at the end of the day, he's a quality player. Sionchu, I think, performed amicably, bearing in mind him and Fofana's 20. Sionchu is, I don't even know. Sionchu is 24 and Fofana's 20. This is a young back line. So having these two here with these two anchor points on the left back and the right back allows you to kind of give confidence to that back line. And with this man in front, Wilfred Ndidi, once again, just being the wall that he was. Again, if you want to hear about Wilfred Ndidi and you want to hear James's thoughts, you check out BBC Radio Leicester. He's done a whole bit with them, with Matt Piper and Owen Palmer-Atkin over there as a little short. Make sure you check that out on BBC Sounds or BBC Radio Leicester plug. But Ndidi does what Ndidi does best. Hold that ball in the midfield, take the ball off, give the pass short, and yeah, not that he did anything wrong. He just does. And we all know what Ndidi's capable of, and it's just always fantastic. It really, really is. And it's just fantastic to see. With Samori as well, I think Samori was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely, he's really building his game up. Something that we didn't see as much as him getting the ball and driving into midfield. We did see a couple of times of him. Driving towards defenders and taking people on. I think he realizes that he's got to pick his moments to do it. He can't just always just drive. In this case, I think he did fantastically. And I'm just hopefully he can get a couple of assists to his name as well. Some of the vision that this guy has got, I mean, oh my Lord, it was just unbelievable. They like just spraying balls and the ball through it, I think, to Vardy and off to the wing, I think, to Ricardo. And he's seeing these balls from deep. Really, really deep and just going, right, I'm going to almost, I'm not, okay. I'm going to say Cesc Fabregas, but I'm not saying that he is exactly like Cesc Fabregas, but it reminds me of him for Chelsea. And when he used to get the ball from deep, right, I'm just seeing things, bang, hitting the ball and just creating loads of chances, in my opinion. So Mori was fantastic today. And he just did so much. I mean, he just needed that goal or assist. Defensively, he did so much work. Again, driving into the center. And again, when we're trying to press from the front, he's one of the guys that was leading the line. Again, playing the 4-3-3, he was pushing more into kind of this position centrally to kind of back up Vardy, because we know what Vardy does. Tielemans is just, and he was, I think this man is a reason why this team is great, but also we see what we've missed. Yes, we upped our game. Yes, they played 60 minutes. Yes, we were down 2-0 by the time that the 60 minutes were over. However, it was so good to see Tielemans back on the pitch again, holding that ball, spraying passes left and right, going, and if you see, pointing, I want the ball here. I want the ball here. Give the ball this way. Give the ball to me. I'll make things happen. And it was just so nice to see him once again. Really, really nice to see Tielemans once again back on the ball. Again, it will take time for him to get back into the speed of things. Hopefully by the Charity Shield or the Villarreal game in the next game, everything will become clear. But Tielemans, yeah, was fantastic there. Harvey Barnes, again, just so nice to see Harvey Barnes back. I mean, it's been such we had the whole synopsis here where me and Alex went over the whole situation where we went when he got injured, and I was like, oh, it's just such a shame. And yeah, it's such a shame. But now he's coming back into the team. It looks fantastic. Ayoze Perez, I know a lot of people don't like him. He seemed like the weaker link in the team, to be honest, but not that far. I mean, defensively he offers a lot, and on that right hand side we know this is not his position. We know that in a 4-3-3 in this position we don't really get the best out of him. His position is more in this central position and kind of pushing more into midfield where he can backtrack, get the ball, and like he did, he lost I think that summed up Ayoze Perez perfectly in this game. The part about the center of the field where he lost the ball, then he's like, no, I'm going to win it back. He won it back. Give it to Samori. Samori put a pass into Vardy. I think and overall, yeah, I'm just super impressed with the way that some of them played, and it was a big thing today, I think. Let me have a look. I'll go back to the comments. Ethan puts in, ACL is tough to recover on, so I think we'll see more of his progression to his old self. I think that's referring to Ricardo, and yes, definitely that's going to be the case. Just over time, we will get there with him and the whole situation with him. Shout out Ryan, man. A big up you lot from Sarcasm City TV if you're over here. But yeah, like and subscribe, people. Really appreciate you saying that, Ryan. Big up to yourself. Burton controlled the defense. He really did. And what he was doing, especially with his experience, he was marshalling the people like Burton on that left-hand side to go, right, we're going to... marshalling Soyuncu and Fofana on that right hand, in that middle of the defense, and it's really cool. Ryan gets emotional when we talk about Ndidi. I mean, Ndidi is just a talent, man. I mean, he's one of the best in his position. And we're so lucky to have him. I'm surprised that people like yourselves, or like as you can tell by Ryan, a Liverpool supporter and Man United haven't come in for him, but that's fine by me. Ethan puts in, what a finish with a goal by Daka. Yeah, phenomenal finish, very Vardy-esque, but I think comparing him to Vardy is something that we will naturally do. I think as fans of Leicester City for so many years, we've seen Jamie Vardy game in, game out do it for us. To have that other option is such a relief to go, okay, we've got another player that can do this as well. We have so many options across the pitch now. Exactly. Luke Thomas, Bertrand, Samore, KDH, Daka, Vardy, ihaenacho. Exactly. And then you forgot Ndidi, Tielemans, so many players that were just on their game today as well. What was that from Perez, from Phil Jones? Perez, I think, was actually not too bad. Also, all things. Flawless is desperate for a Diddy. I know he is, mate. We'll definitely talk about that hopefully on Shameless FC. I know he is Shameless, but the fans don't decide who we get, the board does. So we'll see at the end of the game. And hello Akash once again. Shout out to QPR for taking us to our limit and dominating United. Exactly. This team beat United 4-2 and we've gone and just drew to them again, and it didn't look like we were going to get anything from the game. Really good play at the moment. But yes, anyway, I think we've covered that first half team. We'll get on to some of the substitutions, because basically that team, there was a lot of push and pull. And we're going to be coming forward, coming back, attacking each other. And again, shout out to QPR. As Akash was saying, well played. And if these guys play like that for the rest of the season, I can see them getting promoted. And I've seen that we've seen them before in the Premier League when they got relegated, when we did the Great Escape. They've just got this philosophy about them, and it works, and the manager works. And apparently the manager of QPR used to work, from what I was hearing in commentary, used to work with Brendan Rodgers as well. So it's a similar philosophies here. And it did seem like it was a really exciting match. And that's probably why I'm so hyped for this as well, because the match that they played, both was going 1-2 or 1-2. One side would have the ball and we'd have the ball. But again, some of the players that I want to mention in the second half is, again, obviously a lot of the majority of the team came off. I think Harvey Barnes came off to 45 minutes because he's not played. Ricardo, Fofana, Soyuncu, Burton, Ndidi, Tielemans, Samore, Perez and Vardy came off. Benkovic, I think, looked defensively solid. I think somebody mentioned that earlier on. Let me just find it. Sorry, there's so many comments to try and find. But somebody mentioned about Benkovic. I think it was Jimmy mentioned about. I can't find it, Jimmy. Sorry about that. But he was defensively solid. Did it in the second half after the 60th minute? We actually increased our defensive quality, which is mental, considering we took off the likes of Fofana, Soyuncu, and the two experienced as well. And Ether puts Ben Nelson as well. I was just about to come on to him. Ben Nelson had another performance. I was like, fantastic. Thank you for Jimmy for putting the comment in again. Ben's fourth centre back, user money is on a right winger. It looks like we potentially that's the position we're going to go for. But the problem is we've advanced so much now. If we was in the position of like 13th, then we could get away with it. Now that we're pushing on for top 6 and potentially top 4, probably top 4 next season, that's what Brendan Rodgers will want after missing out twice. He will want that Champions League spot or some kind of Champions League football next year. One of the ways we could do that, one of the issues with that is that Benkovic is not good enough. For example, if Benkovic plays alongside Johnny Evans against Man United, how are you feeling? That's the real issue. If Johnny Evans is alongside Soyuncu, I get it. No problem. Johnny Evans for Fofana, I get it. But Johnny Evans and Benkovic, is that the case? Is that the same thing? Ben Nelson, again, as Ethan was mentioned, solid at the back. Didn't really do anything wrong. Fantastic 6 minutes into his legs. Him and Amati as the back three flipped up really nicely. Amate's just, because he's been here since 20. He's been here 5 years, 5.5 years now. So Amate knows what he's doing in the team. He's not he will be the fourth centre back, won't he? Amate will be. And then if we potentially get somebody else, we'll have to see about that. But Amate did a good job defensively, cleaning up. That three of the back seem to have neutralised a lot of their problems. And as you were saying, Amate was reliable. Exactly. So, exactly. So at the moment, there's all sorts of good stuff that is happening at Leicester City at the moment. And who else did we have? So we'll start with the back. We did the back three. Chowdhury didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do anything too right. Again, apologies for the internet. I don't know why it's dying so much. It's really annoying me at the moment. Luke Thomas, again, defensively, solid, really, really solid. Knows what he's doing, holds his position so well, locks in that position, and he just did what he needed to do at that wing back position. Because I think we're going to the back three. We've got two of them on the wing, and him and Albrighton on that. Again, Albrighton playing wing back, but he was cutting in a lot, playing some of them balls, and was that master creator, to be honest. But excuse me. Chowdhury, didn't do anything really that great, to be honest. There is a big drop-off from Ndidi. There's always going to be a big drop-off from Ndidi, but this was another level, in my opinion. But I don't know. Chowdhury, we'll probably get onto him in another chat. So again, if you're watching, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. They've got some fantastic content coming up over the next couple of weeks for you as well. Some more stuff on the women's football as well. So make sure you stay tuned. One player we haven't mentioned, Dewsbury Hall. Oh man, our midfield there's going to be so much contention for places. Bearing in mind, Pratt's not even back yet. Pratt's going to be trying to get into this midfield, and it's like, what? How is he going to try and get in with all of these players competing? And again, I'm not saying anything bad about Pratt. I really like Pratt as a player. Fantastic kind of player. But I can see Dewsbury Hall holding that position now. Especially, I was saying to Paul from LCFC Family yesterday, him on that right-hand position, on that left-hand side with Luke Thomas and then Harvey Barnes, them three have been playing with each other since they were about 9-10 years old. They know each other's game inside out. They know where each other are without even saying anything, just in the same way that Timothy Castagna, Dennis Pratt, and Yuri Tillemans know where each other are because they play in the international team and they speak the same language. Same thing there. So it is what it is at the moment. There's just so much good quality stuff at the moment with this team, and people are mentioning some Liam Bailey goes to Pereira. We'll look over. We'll get onto that tomorrow. Trust me, I want to cover that in a separate video because again, we'll get more people on the panel. We'll get everybody talking about different things, and we will pass this question backwards and forwards. Because again, if you look at the channel, you'll see there is a video for tomorrow around that. So again, we'll get to some of them later on. So I don't think it did too much, but again, coming on 2-0 down with a team that, again, if you look at that on paper, Benkovic, Amate, Nelson, Thomas, Chowdhury, Dewsbury Hall, Soa, Daka, ihaenacho. There's not a lot of it Premier League experience in that team at all. First team experience. I mean, sure, you've got Amate, who's been a bit part player, to be honest, since he joined. ihaenacho, sure, but again, he's been a bit part player until about February of this year. So, but we went out there and a team that got dominated pretty much for large parts. Imagine that second half. I was like, okay, we're 1-0 down. Let's go out. And that team that played, again, there was a lot of you can see there's a lot of loose parts that's going to come into the team and push us forward. And they had no right to get a draw out of that game. No right, especially going 3-2 down. 2-0 down. Then Dewsbury Hall took his goal fantastically, created that. Daka kind of gets a loose touch or whatever, but Dewsbury Hall drives into the middle, wants to create that, wants to show the manager that he wants to be part of this team. Then hits, then he took his goal fantastically. I think it would be fantastic, and yeah, I think he was fantastic, really. For the bearing in mind, he only played 30 minutes, but he grew into the first game. He was better in the second game, and now he scored in this game. Imagine how many levels he can go up. Brendan Rodgers obviously trusts him. He could put in other midfielders in that position as well. But to take off somebody like Tillemans in Didi and to go, yeah, Dewsbury Hall, here you go, shows you that, again, this game was about match fitness overall. So yeah, again, thank you guys for your likes and your comments and stuff like that as well. Again, there's so much to catch up on. Do we cash in on Pratt? Again, we'll discuss this tomorrow. We'll talk about selling and buying players. I don't really want to talk about them in the comments. Again, bring them all up tomorrow. Defending set pieces. Yes, Akash, you got a point. That's a good point. We're not very good. And also one thing as well, if there is a corner and Marco Brighton is on the pitch, he needs to take those corners. He's got 6 assists last season. I think half of them are from corners. Maddison and Tillemans, as much as I love both of them, they like today, Tillemans didn't get a single ball onto somebody's head. Maddison normally hits the first man, just both the times. Again, I've seen some of the comments about Maddison. Don't worry about Maddison. All is pretty much, I think it was personal terms, somebody said as well. So don't worry too much. But Marco Brighton needs to be on corner duties because we know he can do. Look at the goals he scored last season. He won his points. I think he's a really underrated player and his contract is fully deserved, in my opinion. 3 years might have been a little bit too much, but still 31 years old. It takes him up to about 34. So I think it's definitely a good contract. Definitely good in there. Daka, I mean, we've touched on at the beginning. Soa and then ihaenacho. I mean, fantastic as well. Again, this is a 3-3 performance. They pushed us hard. They really pushed us hard, QPR. And I want to say again, they need a shout out because they were fantastic today. And they're playing against the champions of England. They're playing at home. Sorry, champions, FA Cup winners of England. Not yet. That was 5 years ago. But the way that they linked up and everything was fantastic. And the way they came to go, right, we want to beat you boys. And bearing in mind, yeah, they beat Manchester United 4-2. So yeah, it's fantastic. So again, a lot of these players, if you look at the first ones, Tillemans got his first minutes, Barnes got his first minutes, Perez got his first minutes. I think that was it, to be honest, in the first half and the second half, I think. But yeah, so some of these main players that make a big difference to our squad are getting some of the players in. I'm just sorry. I'm just going through the couple of comments now that aren't. Brooklyn says such a great presence. Dewsbury Hall has great strength and skill. Looks like he defends exactly. He's like a box-to-box player. He could really, really do a job, in my opinion. And it's fantastic to see what his potential is going forward, because it's fantastic. I really, really am looking forward to see how he develops. Will he get played in the Europa League more? I think so. I think you can see a bit part player coming on. But the fact is, you're taking somebody off like Samore to put him on, and putting on him and Chowdhury in the centre midfield. I'm just checking if we've got any more midfielders. It was literally it. In the two in the midfield were Dewsbury Hall and Chowdhury. And Chowdhury's a CDM mostly. So he was doing all that work in the midfield, and they didn't run through them, which is good work. And I think they were playing a 3-4-3. So yeah, fantastic. Let's have a look. Am I right, Jimmy? So thank you, Jimmy, for your comments. Am I right in thinking Casper, Evans, Justin, Ward, Mendy, Pratt, and Castagna have yet to feature for pre-seasons? You are correct. I think so. Yeah, Justin. Let me get your comment. Justin, I don't think will be available for a while, to be perfectly honest with you. Justin won't be anywhere near that first team until probably 2022. He might play a couple of under 23s games. Just look at Ricardo and look how long that took. So that's the thing. Casper, yeah, I think he's on international duty. Evans, he's been training with the squads. We know that. I think there's a picture mentioned with him with the rugby ball in one of the pictures I saw. So he's there. Mendy, Ward, I think he's having a break now, which is fine. Again, he had a fantastic Euros. Last one, Mendy. I don't think so as well. I think Mendy, again, I think he's still going to be part of the team, and I don't think he's going to have that much play time, to be perfectly honest with you. But we need strength and depth, and that's one thing. The reason why we missed on Premier League, Champions League football twice, is because we didn't have that strength and depth. And the last one, Pratt, big fan of Pratt, but I maybe he's getting time off. Castagna, again, he was back in training as well. Don't know if Pratt was. However, it is what it is. I think with these people, it will be fine as well. And Mwape say, let's go Patson. Patson did, again, fantastic. We're really excited because, again, this is only a small amount of time they've been training. When we wait till somewhere like December, we will see a different Patson Daka. And I mean that in a better way, in a fantastic way. Patson Daka will up his levels again and again and again. And he's got the right team and the right manager. And what's impressed me is how much he demands the ball. And the team already trusts him to go, right, let me just stick into an area and let's see what he can do with it. Just like Jamie Vardy. ihaenacho, I'm not trying to deface him or anything, but he can't quite do that same thing. And his link, ihaenacho and Patson Daka look like they really link up really well. Jamie Vardy and Daka, I think, will get there, but that I think that Africa connection of ihaenacho and Daka is already there. Will has wrote in. Thank you, Will, for your comment. Rogers says he has a knock on his foot. Is it questionable for questionable for the start of the season, which is worrying? It is a little bit worrying, to be honest, but I think he's had this injury for a while. We're going to have to see how this happens, but he's back in training. We're going to have to nurse this one through. Again, even if he's there, he's in the squad, probably leading from the sidelines and things like that. And I think overall, yeah, he just what a player he is. There is a couple of, again, people are talking about right wings and transfers and stuff. I want us to keep this video just for the QPR chat, and I've kind of talked my lungs out at the moment. But if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. We really, really appreciate it all. There's going to be some amazing content. We'll get some weeks as well. My internet is just about to die as well. It's really annoying. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. Really appreciate the roundup and the comments and the likes. 50 viewers, I think 58 at one point, which was absolutely insane. But thank you so much for watching and listening to this, because it's been a slideshow at times with my silly internet. Hopefully you can help me grow the channel, and then I can get better internet, because it just dies occasionally. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you all in the next video. The internet has come back, and I'll see you all later. Thank you. Good.